Welcome to Would Poovan Do podcast. My name is Poovan. I'm your host. Today we have a very special guest with us. His name is Eugene Chow. He's a hypnotherapist, a trainer colleague. I've known him for some time now. And welcome, Eugene. How are you doing today?
I'm doing really good, yes. And how about you, Poovan?
I am good. I'm good. A bit. I need a bit more sleep, I think, but I'm doing good. How was your New Year?
Oh, it was fantastic. Yeah. So we did a lot of visiting, usually on second
Mm.
day lah. Yeah, and then really just run around the entire island
Ah.
for on second day. So it's all crammed into one day. But okay, all done and dusted. So back to normal life again.
Fantastic. I at least weekend is coming, so you can also rest. Yeah,
Mm,
yeah, very good,
yeah,
very good.
yeah.
Uh, you know, I've heard of this word hypnotherapy for a very long time. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so I used to live in the UK when I was I went to the UK when I was 25 years old. That is the first time I've actually heard this word being used. Yeah, I was in uh, I was attending a group therapy or a group meetup where a group of
Mm-hmm.
guys just sit around and just talk about life. So that's when I actually heard more about hypnotherapy, and yeah, I, I'm very curious. I never really got into it. Um, the I used to smoke for a very long time, and
Mm-hmm.
hypnotherapy was one of the kind of like maybe the alternative way that I was exploring, to quit smoking. But
Mm-hmm.
it was a bit, it was a bit out there, right?
A bit
So,
woo-woo, is it?
a bit woo, yeah, exactly. Yeah, like
Yes.
somebody is getting into my mind and
Mm.
controlling my mind, and like some sort of like subliminal, I don't know, programming or something. So,
Mm.
for somebody who doesn't know anything about hypnotherapy, what is hypnotherapy, Eugene?
What is hypnotherapy? Okay, so I try to keep it simple. So
Mm,
most people are familiar with the sit down, talk it out kind of therapy where in the movies you see the therapist
mm,
sitting on the couch, client on
mm,
the couch, and then they just chit chat in a very structured way, of course. It's
mm,
very similar in that sense.
mm,
Yes, it's very similar. I mean, we not strictly be on a couch. Can be lying down on the recliner, on the bed as well. The
mm,
idea behind this is to really relax, fully relax in the during the session.
mm,
And so the main difference between hypnotherapy and other conventional therapies like counseling, psychotherapy, main difference is the hypnosis. So that's the inclusion of
mm,
hypnosis. So this is the thing that is very that a lot of people find it mysterious, and some will even say it's not backed by science, which is complete completely not true.
mm,
And so hypnosis is really a relaxed state of mind. And why we do that, right? Why we do that is to allow the individual to really deep
mm,
dive into the subconscious mind, because when you are awake, your eyes are open, you're not aware of all the things that are going on in your head. You
mm,
know, so the some very classical examples of what your subconscious mind is doing for you every day is the heartbeat and the digestion, and also even something like using the phone, typing on the phone while you're talking to someone while you're walking, all done by the
mm.
subconscious mind, right?
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you have to focus on every single aspect of your life, right,
Mm,
you go mad. Right.
yeah.
So the subconscious mind is taking care of a lot of things. You can say to the tune to 90% of your daily activities. Right. So not just does it control your heartbeat, it also controls your reflex actions. Do you find
The muscle
yourself
memory, like muscle memory.
muscle memory, yeah, muscle memory is one thing. That's a physical
Mm,
aspect. But do you find
mm,
yourself reacting to certain triggers? Like when someone
mm,
pushes your button, when someone says a certain thing, then you just say it out, right? And then
mm,
after that, you look back and say, "Why on earth did I say that? I regret it."
mm.
Right? Right. Those are reflex actions, and those come
Yeah.
from the subconscious. Yeah. So
Mm,
to really explore all these things, right? Hypnosis is necessary. Okay. So I liken it to, if you want to read a good book, you don't go to the kopitiam, you go to the
mm,
library, or you go into a
mm,
quiet room, right? So same
mm,
thing when you want to explore your very deep subconscious thoughts and feelings. Okay. you have to quieten down the mind. So
Mm.
see hypnosis as a kind of like you can say deep meditation if you've done it before, or you
Mm.
can say a very light daydream, if you will, for those who
Mm.
haven't done meditation. And in doing so, your mind calms down. You can really deep dive into your subconscious mind, explore all those deep-seated kind of thoughts and belief systems and emotions, and really uproot those that are not productive. So just to sum it all up again, okay, hypnosis allows you to calm the mind down to the point where you can really explore very deeply past events from especially from childhood. And because it's therapy, it's hypnotherapy. So we deal with unpleasant things. So for
Mm.
example, bullying that happened at 15 years old. For
Mm.
example, potentially abuse that happened in childhood. So under hypnosis, we will explore all these things, and when the mind is very calm, very focused, right? The person can actually associate with the past event so well to the point that he feels all the emotions from the past event. So
Mm.
imagine let's say you're 40 years old now, okay? Under hypnosis, I say, okay, go back to the moment when you had experienced bullying, right? The
Mm.
person can be crying, as if, wow, feeling the abuse, not abuse, sorry, the
Mm.
bullying happening right at the moment.
Mm.
Yeah.
Because
Okay, another
revisiting
classic,
something,
yeah, yeah.
revisiting can be very painful. Yeah.
Yes, guy, we call it reliving. We call it
Mm.
reliving,
Ah,
re-experiencing,
reliving
if you
it.
will.
Mm.
Yeah. So
Mm.
the whole point is to bring out the emotion because once the emotion comes up, you can cut it off.
Mm.
Yeah, kind of like when you have a bruise, I'm sure your mom, your parents have told you, oh, you have a bruise, go rub it, correct?
Mm.
It's counterintuitive, but it works, right? After you rub it, then the pain goes away much faster. Although you have to, bear the pain for a while. So same thing for the hypnotherapy, or at least the technique that I use.
Mm.
By revisiting the past events, unpleasant ones. It is unpleasant, yes, of course. So
Mm.
but you have to rub the bruise. Okay, so by reliving the
Mm.
past event, you can effectively neutralize the emotions that are still stuck all the way back then. So the technique that I use is called inner child healing. Inner
Inner
child.
child.
Yeah, correct. So
Sounds
imagine that.
very deep.
Yeah, yeah, correct. It's
Yeah.
inner, right? So
Yeah.
it's your 10-year-old that is still stuck in you, that is still sore that he got bullied, and all these emotions are still stuck there.
So, but
Okay,
it's
you might
also
be.
sound very. Yeah, please,
Yeah,
please.
yeah, yeah. So okay, so this might sound very puzzling, right? How can, right? So think of grief. Okay, so everyone at some point in their lives lose a loved one. So it's easy to imagine losing a loved one. So many people, when I bring them back to the past event when their loved one was about to pass away, they're crying, right? So
Mm.
if they're really truly gotten over it, well, there's a saying, right? Time heals, right?
Mm.
But the truth is, time doesn't heal; it conceals, right? So by when I bring them back to that past event where the loved one is about to pass away, they're bawling their eyes out, they're crying, and a lot of emotions stuck there. So these are
Mm.
the things that continue to bother them to fester as an adult. So all these emotions really have to be let go, neutralized. Then you can really truly move on positively.
How do you, Eugene? How do you take them to that hypnosis state? Do you swing a pendulum or?
No, no, no. Okay, so that is the biggest misconception. Okay, okay.
But
Let me explain
that
why.
blame Hollywood, blame
Yeah, yeah,
Hollywood for
yeah. I
that.
know, I know, I know, I know. Yes. The reason why they still use it is because that is the only technique. It's still used in hypnosis. There is such a technique. Okay, it's just that it's no longer used today because it's very inefficient. Yeah,
Mm.
but it has a lot of showmanship. That's why you still see it on TV.
The drama, right? The
Yeah,
drama
the
of.
drama factor. Yes, correct. It's the drama
Mm.
factor, and I think in more recent movies, right? There's this movie called Hypnotic. I haven't watched it yet, but when I look at the
Mm.
trailer, I say, "Oh my goodness, they're doing it again." So, there's this guy who can, with the whirl of the pen by clicking
Mm.
his,
Mm.
thumb, he can hypnotize someone. Not like that, lah. So, the hypnosis is really most of the therapies use a script, a pre-written script, right, to guide the person into hypnosis to relax the mind through imagination, creative visualization. Like
Mm.
imagine, in the beach, walking on the sand, feel the soft sand
Mm.
uh, on your
Mm.
feet, and so on and so forth. Yeah. So this is to allow the mind to relax. That's it. You're not unconscious. That's the other
Mm,
myth. You're not unconscious.
mm.
And like I said, the hypnosis is to allow you to relax the mind to the point where all the noise, like, oh, I need to write this email now. I need to call my boss. Oh yeah, I have a lunch appointment. Oh, I'm hungry. I really miss my putu mayam. You know,
Yeah,
all this
yeah.
noise in my head has to go away. Then you
Mm.
can really focus on going back to that past event and feeling all the emotions and um experiencing the whole unpleasantness all over again. That's the point.
Actually, you did that. Yeah, thank you for. Oh my God, I have so much questions, so many questions. But I do want to go back to. I know that you're from cybersecurity and system
Yeah.
engineering background. How did you become an hypnotherapist? How did you become an energy healer? I saw that's the word in your
Mm.
profile. Yeah, yeah. Could you share a bit about your journey?
Yeah, so life throws you curveballs, right? So I had a lot of physical illnesses and including mental ones. Okay, so I was in depression, I had anxiety attacks, I had a whole bunch of pains here and there, and it is all very mysterious. Couldn't put a finger to why am I feeling this way every day.
Mm,
And the best part is I would go to the doctor, get a blood test, do endoscopy, or do all sort of tests, right? And
mm,
the report will come back fine, you're healthy, right?
mm,
Nothing wrong with you. That is like, how can there be nothing wrong with me when I feel like shit inside, really horrible.
mm,
Yeah. So then I gave up, on the on Western medicine and then went to look for alternatives. And
mm,
so I actually started off in nutrition because it's something that is tangible, there is science behind it. So I just follow all the science-backed diets and but still alternative. I didn't take any medication, I didn't touch any drugs whatsoever.
mm,
So I use a lot of whole foods. But a lot of the diets failed me. I saw some results with it, with the diets. I was on like raw vegan, vegetarian,
mm.
macrobiotics, keto lah.
Wow.
I took a lot of supplements, and I'm not the touch and go kind. No, I would actually follow through the diet for like 1 year, one
Dedicated,
and a
eh?
half years. Very dedicated. I don't really wanted to get over my pains. Then came 2018. So I started doing the healing work, my self healing, right? Really in 2012 when I woke up one day, I just felt, wow, I very tired, very depressed. My mind was completely spaced out, and I said, okay, I cannot live like this, right? This is not the way to live. And if I continue, living my life this way, I'm pretty sure, I'm gonna have some really serious illnesses,
Mm,
right? Chronic illness moving forward. So I said, okay, I'm going to change that. Really overnight, I just switched out from eating normal human food, right, to a raw vegan diet. Really just overnight, I just switched.
mm,
Yeah. Then I tried different diets. Then come 2018 when I was getting better, but just couldn't get rid of the majority of my problems. Then I said, okay, let's try hypnotherapy then.
What is this like lethargy or is that
So I had
you're just
chronic.
tired?
So at my worst, right, I had 40 different symptoms. 40 different
Okay.
symptoms, including depression, anxiety, and all that. So,
Mm,
some of those that I can recall at the back of my head is um, I had bodily pains throughout my
mm,
body, okay, that required me to go for regular massages.
mm,
I had things like plantar fasciitis. I had bleeding gum problems. I had puffed up eyes,
mm,
sinusitis. I had IBS. I
mm,
had one very very strange problem. So imagine this part of the hand itches, right? No, imagine this part
mm,
itches, right? But
mm,
if I scratch here, right, the itch doesn't go away. I had to scratch
mm,
maybe somewhere over here. Then
mm,
it's a very strange nervous system problem. Okay, so I
mm,
just couldn't figure it out. Yeah, so that's why you can see I tried so many different protocols and methods. Because
mm,
desperate times call desperate measures. Yeah,
mm,
so then I finally went to try hypnotherapy, the woo
mm,
stuff. Okay, then amazingly I saw some improvement.
mm,
Yeah, so then I realized that wow, okay, so emotions can actually negative emotions and thoughts, can actually cause such a huge impact on the body. Yeah. So then I just got curious lah and decided to learn the technique. I said, wow, how come just by um affecting the mind, you can affect the body. And I want to learn how
mm,
this works, right? So one thing led to another, and in 2020, my problem didn't go fully go away. So interestingly, not interestingly, but unfortunately, I thought hypnotherapy would solve all my problems. It didn't. But it was another thing in my toolkit, lah, another tool in my toolkit. And funny thing is that I actually circled back to nutrition back in
Mm.
2020. And this time round, I actually left my job. I actually left my job. Okay. And you're wondering how I got into all this energy work and woo woo stuff, right? It's because by that time I was
We need to stop calling it woo woo stuff.
well, I mean, people call it woo woo stuff is fine. I don't
Yeah,
mind, being known as a guy who does woo woo stuff, who used to, you know, be the engineer. Engineers are not supposed to believe in all this woo woo stuff,
yeah,
right? So
structure.
yeah, structure, science back, but I mean, I tell you very honestly, right? It's the science that's kind of disappointed me, lah, in many many ways. So
Mm,
that's why I turned to the alternatives, and they have
mm,
not disappointed me. Yeah. So uh, yeah, so 2020 was when I decided to quit my job because the my health was taking a toll on me. So I couldn't juggle between my job and my health, healing myself and my family. So one of it had to go. So then once I quit, one of the interesting things I did was manifestation work, right? So
mm.
not sure if you've heard of law of attraction. So basically, long story
I've
short,
read
what
the
I did,
book,
you read the book. Oh, fantastic.
both.
Right. So you one foot into the woo woo stuff already. So
Ayo, maybe I'm a bit more woo woo than you think.
you'll see. We have a little competition later. Okay, so then I did the manifestation work, right? So I just meditated and just visualized that by the end of 2020 I will get my answer. And I did, right? So I went to the library, looking for a book on how to get rid of this thing called candida yeast infection, which I had.
Mm,
And then I found a book. Then at the corner of my eye, right, I saw another book that I was supposed to read. That's on my reading list, right, since 2017. And I said, "Wow, okay. Why not borrow that book since I saw it, right?" So the first book I borrowed said, "Whatever you're doing, do it more intensively and include all these supplements, right? Make it like go 100% full steam." And then the other book said, "Whatever you're doing is all wrong. Do the complete
mm,
opposite." So I said, "Well, I've been doing this for 8 years already. So I mean, what do I have to lose? I quit my job. I've nothing to lose, right? Worst thing is I waste time lah, right? So I try lah, and that so long story short, right? The anti-candida diet basically is a low carb and high in protein or fats. So pretty much a keto diet lah, if you ask me. And
mm,
the other protocol is the complete opposite because it's super high carb and zero fat, right?
mm,
It's a fruit-based diet, which I still continue to practice today. And you know what? Within 2 weeks of taking that new diet, reading the book, so I was so desperate that as I was reading the book, I was implementing it on the fly. And
mm.
then by the end of 2 weeks, I recovered more than I did in 8 years.
Wow.
Yeah, that was really amazing. Yeah. Then I had this very bad brain fog, and it had all the symptoms of early stage dementia. That was how bad the symptoms were. Yes, I was forgetting things. I felt like an old man. I couldn't focus. I was very foggy in the brain. Yeah,
Mm,
so, and within 2 days of taking a special smoothie, a fruit smoothie with special ingredients, half of the brain fog lifted. So I
mm,
literally felt like a new man the next day. So, and I was looking for the answer for 17 years. 17 years, and within two
mm,
days, I got my answer. Yeah,
mm,
so I continued to practice it, and it was on this nutrition protocol that allowed me to fully 100% recover. Okay,
mm,
so today I actually weave it into my hypnotherapy practice.
mm.
Yes.
But
So
if how did you like train? What type of training do you need to go through for to become a
okay,
hypnotherapist?
so for hypnotherapy, right? So so like I said, I went to the study. I went on to study the diploma, and
Mm,
so it's basically I think 220 over hours of training.
mm,
Yeah, and which includes case studies as well. So I had to take on clients early on to get my
mm,
certification. So so basically a lot of practice lah, because you
mm,
cannot just learn the theory and hope to become a good therapist. You need
mm,
to see real clients and really put the framework, the skills into practice, and then that's when I actually learn how to navigate a session properly.
mm,
Yeah, because clients will come in. You see, when I was working with my classmates, right, it was easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of us are saying, yeah, when you said the wrong thing, I autocorrect. So it's not very realistic lah. So we have to actually serial clients as part of the case studies to really get the true experience,
Mm.
to get the certification. So over 220 hours, and after doing the 10 cases, if the supervisor is happy, then you get the certification.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Thank,
correct.
thank you. Actually, I wanted to kind of like go back to that word energy healer. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, I am a more, hmm, I like to think, sometimes people say you're religious or you're spiritual, right? So actually, I know what religious mean, but actually, I do not know what spiritual means. I know a lot of
Okay.
people it seems like to think that the opposite of religion is spirituality. I don't feel the same, yeah, because I feel that all of us are connected through this sort of a cosmic thread, and there's a lot of energy transfer going on. That's why
Mm,
sometimes I guess when you see somebody, you just don't like them, right? But
mm.
I know we've bumped into each other at work so many times. And every time I've seen you, or even when I feel you're present, or you're walking in the same room, you have such a clean energy. The energy is so clean. It's not because you're cheerful and us trainers, I guess we're cast in that role and we have to play it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not that, yeah. It's just that you have such clear energy, I guess some people might call this aura and energy field and so on, so I and yeah, that's some sort of really, and I don't feel like that the same with other people. Yeah, I meet other trainers or other people in the center, or when I meet some learners, yeah, yeah, uh, yeah. So I guess maybe you are in the right profession, yeah. That's something to do with, yeah. Reiki is another one that I want to talk about in just a moment, because that's
Mm,
one that I got introduced by my very good Dutch friend many 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 years ago, and
mm.
yeah, so he's also doing some sort of alternative therapy, but this is too woo woo for me. Uh, this one, I think he does some sort of like a distant healing, like
Uh-huh.
he can
Reiki? Also
heal the
Reiki?
uh, I, I'm not sure what is it called Reiki, but he started off as a Reiki in the beginning, but
Uh-huh.
now he's doing something else. Yeah. Okay. I want to also kind of, because one of the things that we do in the podcast is also trying to help people, live a better life,
Mm-hmm.
grow to their full potential. And I know that you meet a lot of clients, and I guess we also meet a lot of learners, and in your experience, where do you think the problem is? Are people having a lot of problem at work, or is this a lot of personal stuff? Yeah. And if it's work, or what are some of the key indicators of this problem?
Okay. So good you ask this question because I think all of us want to feel pleasant every day, right? Because if you are feeling pleasant every day,
Mm,
you wouldn't be angry, you wouldn't be sad, depressed, you wouldn't have anxiety, all these mental issues that we are facing and hearing the news every day, it wouldn't happen
mm,
at all if you felt pleasant every day. So how
correct.
to actually achieve it? So it's multifaceted. I think first and foremost, we need to let go of past baggage. So in our mind, in our bodies, we are carrying a lot of past baggage in the form of resentment about, or at 20 years old, something happened to us. Maybe your best friend left you, or
Mm,
stole your boyfriend away for that matter, or girlfriend,
mm.
then deep down you still feel very resentful. Because when someone mentions, like say, hey Poovan, remember that guy who stole your girlfriend? I said, yeah, that guy, you still get so angry. I said, I want to
Yeah, yeah,
strangle
yeah.
him. You know, if you can react like that, right, it just goes to show how much emotions you're still carrying from back then, right?
I
I'm sure you
I
can relate to
I
this.
for me, it's a ex boss who was a horrible person, and
Yeah.
for 2 3 years I was telling everyone, if I see her somewhere on the street, I'm going to kill her.
Yeah, there you go, there you go.
Yeah. I mean, I worked through it, after a while, but it took me some time, couple of years. Yeah, yeah. I understand. I
Correct, correct.
completely agree. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Correct, correct. Yeah, you can relate to it. Yeah, I think everyone can relate to this. So this past
Mm,
baggage really needs to be let go because, this concept of mindfulness,
yeah.
right? So what is your definition of mindfulness? Just maybe in a few words.
Being fully aware of and being in the moment. I guess
Yeah, yeah. Being
that's
in the
right.
moment,
Yeah.
being fully aware. Because to
Mm,
be fully aware, you have to be in the moment, right?
mm,
Yeah, because it's the awareness has to be in the now, ma, right? So
mm,
I think the most common definition of mindfulness is being present, being the now. Okay.
mm,
So I like to explain it this way. So the past is now all the years before now. So like maybe
mm,
from age 0 until age 40 years old. Let's say you're 40 years old
mm,
this year, right? It's a period of time. And it's all over. Can you change it? Answer is no. Okay, it's very clear
mm,
no. So then why do you still continue to think about it?
mm,
Right? But in our mind, like mine is like a monkey lah. It's always going back. Yeah, that person he really
mm,
messed up my life. Oh yeah, that time I got bullied. Oh yeah, this and so and so. So the mind is often attached to past events, and where but it really needs to let go, right, to be in the
mm.
present. Okay, then um very often we worry about the future, right? So, oh, are we gonna get jobs, are we
Anxiety, anxiety.
anxiety, right? Yeah, then is am I gonna get my promotion, or when I go for vacation will I get robbed and mugged? So
Mm,
all these things we are worrying about, right? But in the future, right, can you control the future? Answer is no. You can
mm,
influence, but you cannot really control to the T, right? But the mind is always going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth instead of being in
mm,
the now, right? So
mm,
to be really in the now, you need to let go of the past. Okay, that's the job of hypnotherapy and other mental healing tools.
mm,
And you need to also let go of the future, and that has
mm,
to do with all these mental healing tools will help you as well. And
mm,
so to really stay in the now, right, get rid of the past and worries about the future, and also practice things like meditation,
mm,
that will help you really be focused on in the moment. Yeah, so
mm,
I can go on and on this lah, because it's a very a broad topic. Yeah, but
mm,
so there are a few tools you can use to really stay in the present, and then once you can do that effectively, then a lot of your mental troubles will naturally just melt away.
mm,
I can tell you from first-hand experience because I've been through the whole journey, all right, of going through
mm,
for therapy. So I was in therapy before. That's
mm,
why I even went on to learn hypnotherapy, and I practice meditation. So I
mm.
can tell you for sure firsthand, it really calms the mind down so that you feel just very zen and serene all the time.
We have 6 minutes more. I want to ask you a question about myself. Yeah.
Yeah,
You know, a lot of people have this mental chatter, right?
yeah.
That they say I cannot quiet down my mind, right? Yeah. I don't have it.
Wow, perfect. You're in God mode already.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have. I mean, when there is some sort of problem, like yesterday, I had some really bad news, right? This is not a drama. I mean, I am a bit sad about it, yeah. But I thought about it, and yeah, that's why it took me a bit of time to sleep last night, right? But most
Mhm.
of the time, I don't have that kind of mental chatter. Sometimes that's scary as well, like everybody is thinking, and if everybody is like struggling to make a decision, right? Yeah, but I don't know how. I don't have that sort of. I've had few episodes of depressions, and
Okay.
yeah, I hit some rock bottom. Yeah, so I guess some of your, like your hypnotherapy, like going back, right? Very Freudian, right? Going back and
Mm,
fixing things in the past. Yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. Yeah.
mm.
Uh, yeah. So we have a couple of more minutes. I just wanted to ask you well, one last question. Like, what? How do you find yeah, how would you define a fulfilled life?
A fulfilled life, ah.
Mm.
Well, this is actually very personal. Actually,
Are you having a fulfilled life? I guess that
work,
will be the follow up
working
question.
working working towards it, working towards it,
Mm,
because a lot
mm,
of people think is about having enough money or having a lot of money, a ton of money.
mm.
I think we know by now it's not the case, lah, right? So it's
The
about,
reason I'm
yeah.
asking this question is I want my listeners, yeah, our listeners to also see. Yeah, exactly. This is the reason, right? What does that really mean by having a fulfilled life? Because you're always kind of chasing the wrong thing, right?
Mm,
Yeah. Mm.
mm.
Yeah. So,
So,
in your opinion, as a hypnotherapist, what do you think is
mm.
a yeah?
Okay, so to keep it very simple, right, it's really to have to feel pleasant every day, right? And how can
Mm,
we achieve that, right? Because if you feel pleasant every day, there is you won't go about doing things to mask the feelings. For example, oh, I need my coffee now. Oh, I need to have
mm,
my beer now to make so that I can feel better. You don't need all these crutches. You don't
mm,
need all these crutches because if you feel good every day, you can go about
mm,
with your life and feeling great and enjoying the work that you do. Okay,
mm,
so that brings me to the other point where it's important to find work that you really enjoy doing. Because
mm.
the many people, okay, this comes from talking to a lot of people in my sessions. They are in jobs they don't like, right? And
Yes.
naturally, yes, right. So they hate their work, but yet they continue to work there because money is good, lah, right? Or
Mm.
and they fear that by leaving their jobs, they are not able to
Afford.
strike it out on their own as a
Mm,
freelancer or their business, whatever. A lot of fears. So
mm.
then, of course, if you're in a job that you hate, then you're going to feel miserable every day.
I must say, Eugene, because we meet a lot of people right now, classes, and I've also started like working on my ICF coaching certification.
Coaching.
So yeah, so I started, I mean, I talk to a lot of people, and I think this percentage of unhappy people at work, and we are not talking about there are a percentage of people who are miserable at work, right?
Mm.
Unhappy is in the beginning, right? So I think this is maybe above 60% are not
I don't know.
happy.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
because
Mm,
okay, so to be honest, no job is perfect. So there will be
yeah, yeah.
even though you enjoy the work, there'll be some aspect of it is that
Mm,
it's a bit painful. But I think if you find net happiness in that job, then
mm,
okay, that's good for
mm,
you.
mm,
But if it's
mm,
net unhappiness, then you have to think very carefully about it.
mm,
Whether it's worth your time and energy, and your gray
mm,
hairs and your wrinkles.
mm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think I mean I want to this is a question that I ask myself as well, right? Am I having a fulfilled life? Yeah. Um I mean, this answer changes. Yeah, sometimes I
Mm,
feel good, because external factors are always changing, and
mm,
you are the only one who's constant. Yeah, so I think through my podcast and I guess all the work that I do, I really want to enable people, right, or whoever that I come in contact with to have that, to grow to their full potential,
mm,
and because I don't know, like in Singapore, and we always have this conversation about money, and and I really hope that people will find different ways, and maybe that could be hypnotherapy, or
mm,
talking to somebody, yeah, so that they are always working towards the you know to get to that stage where they feel fulfilled in their life.
mm.
Eugene, that's the end of our podcast. I feel we barely scratched the surface, and yeah, I usually try to finish around this time, and
Okay.
yeah, um, and
So there'll
thank
be a
you
part
very
two.
much. I think so. I think so. Yeah. Thank you very much for joining me, Eugene. It's been such a
Thank
pleasure
you, Proven. Thank you
chatting
so
with you.
much.
Even through the Zoom, I can feel your positive
Really?
energy.
Wow. Yeah, I think you're very
Yeah,
energy sensitive.
yeah, and I really, I needed to. I wasn't feeling really up to it, I must say, but I really felt like I need to talk to Eugene today, and he will lift my spirit. And you have. Okay.
Wow. Okay.
Thank
Okay.
you very
All
much.
right. Thank you
Bye
so
bye.
much. Bye
Take care.
bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye.